Bitcoin has broken out decisively, hitting a new all-time high. Again, Bitcoin just keeps on doing that. We're getting set up for what could be a massive run for Bitcoin over the coming weeks with a price target of $84,000 before we get any kind of real significant kind of correction coming in. And this is backed up by some truly insane news we've had today. And I know I say this all the time, but it really is some crazy, crazy news. It's just been such a big month for news stories in February. It's just been off the charts crazy. Oh, and there's an investing opportunity coming up for you to get into an early stage project. So watch till the end of the video to make sure you catch that opportunity if you're looking to get an entry into an early stage cryptocurrency. My name's Lark, and every day I make videos to help you make money investing. So if that is what you want to do, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to catch all of my videos. By the way, members of the Wealth Mastery Investor Report, go and check your inboxes because issue number 33 is out now. This week, I discuss how to save on your Ethereum gas fees, which has been pretty crazy recently with the gas going nuts, so definitely some good tips for you. I also take a look at some non-Ethereum DeFi protocols that you may want to be looking into to get yourself some good yields. DeFi Dad has a step-by-step tutorial on how to earn 700% APY using an Ethereum-based Layer 2 DeFi platform. Jesse has a report on the much-hyped Dodo exchange and investigates whether or not the hype actually meets the reality. Rect Capital has some great technical analysis for you on Litecoin, Monero, Dash. We have 4 new token sales we have on our radar this week as well. All of that and much, much more for less than $10 a week. Just click on the link down below in the description to become a member today. So let's talk about the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin has broken out of its ascending triangle, and it has actually done that on some pretty good volume on the daily charts, so it's really nice to see. I hope that you were paying attention earlier this week when I was talking about this ascending triangle breakout forming up, saying that if we get over $49,200, that's the signal, man. That's the signal. That's when you go long. So it's a good opportunity to get those long trades in. For your Bitcoin. Now, the implied breakout target for Bitcoin here is $54,000. So it's not that far away. We're about halfway to the breakout target from this triangle. Now, a scenario that I personally would kind of like to see play out with Bitcoin hitting $54,000 and then coming back down to flip $50,000 from resistance into support before blasting higher. That would be an ideal situation. That would be technically a very strong move for Bitcoin. If that does happen, again, amazing opportunity to, put in a long over on Femex or whatever you might be doing, buy some more Bitcoin just on spot prices. That's fine too, right? But with how bullish this market it just is right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we just keep on pumping before we get any kind of good retracement. I think any Bitcoin buys under the $50,000 mark, probably going to be pretty good long term. I bought some more Bitcoin today. I bought the top again today just for fun, just to feel something, man, just to feel something. All we need is one big, incredibly bullish event like Apple buying Bitcoin to send this thing to the frickin' moon. And I still think we could hit $84,000 by April. Now, why am I so bullish? Well, let's look at the 2017 charts because I think it's very informative to understand how these cycles play out. Now, on average, we saw Bitcoin take about 30 days to move up by an average of around 100%. We had 61% being kind of the lowest move up and 152% on the upper side in terms of the biggest moves up after this. 100% approximately right in the middle. Now, this is measured from when Bitcoin breaks its previous all-time high, goes through its correction, its accumulation phase, and then goes on to make a new high after that correction period finishes. So if this historical model has any kind of relevance to the way that Bitcoin behaves, then what does that mean for Bitcoin now? Well, let's have a look at the charts and see what Bitcoin's been doing recently. Oh, and have a look here. Look, it took Bitcoin 23 days to gain 110% after breaking the previous all-time high. That's really not that far off from our 2017 models. The impulse up to $42,000 from $20,000 is really just like the first wave of really major price discovery for Bitcoin. If this model holds even vaguely to this historical pattern, then we could see Bitcoin reaching a price of $84,000 on March 8th. Now, obviously, lots of wiggle room in this model. But an $84,000 Bitcoin that's only 60% away from here, that's really not that crazy considering the falling supply on exchanges, the increasing demand, all the bullish fundamentals, the big companies coming in, some of the news we're going to talk about today, totally crazy stuff. But maybe this wave, maybe it's going to be a weaker wave. Maybe we'll only get to $67,000 or something before we get a big cooling off period. Maybe we'll get some super bullish news. Bitcoin goes up to $100,000. Again, a lot of room for wiggle in here. Maybe $84,000. Maybe that is the right target. That's where we're going to get before we see that big cool off period, another correction and accumulation phase. But maybe it just takes longer to play out. Maybe it doesn't happen until, early April or something like that. But looking at the charts right now, I do feel like these higher price targets, that's what we're talking about here, right? For the next few months, the market's just so gosh darn bullish. So, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at these higher price targets for Bitcoin right now. Now let's get into some of that news that's making me just so gosh darn bullish these days. So a recent survey of corporate chief financial officers has revealed some very interesting data. 5% of CFOs are planning to buy Bitcoin this year. Now, 5% may not sound like a crazy number, but that number was 0% at this time last year. And that 5% number represents potentially thousands of corporations, which is crazy. Remember, US corporations are sitting on $4 trillion in cash. Globally, that number is around $10 trillion sitting in corporate treasuries, slowly melting away. Even a few percent of that money going into Bitcoin could have a dramatic effect on the price. But what is even more interesting from this report is that a full 70% of CFOs are waiting to watch what other companies are doing, which means that they're going to sit, they're going to wait, and then they're going to FOMO super freaking hard as the price starts to spike. And they watch that other 5% of the CFOs who are willing to jump into the water now, buying up Bitcoin and gaining from those Bitcoin plays. Basically, 70% of the CFOs said that they want more social proofing before they feel comfortable getting in the water. Well, more social proofing is exactly what they're getting. 2021 is the year of crypto corporate FOMO. Just the corporate sector alone represents a wall of money bigger than it's possible to $10 trillion. That's an incredible amount of money. I can't even imagine that. And that's just corporations. This does not account for pensions and endowments and family offices and private companies and hedge funds and millionaires and billionaires and all these other big money interests that are out there who are all right now trying to get a piece of the Bitcoin pie. And the more of them do it, the more of them want to do it because it's social proofed by the big money herd. Now, this news comes at the same time that the chief investment officer at BlackRock has said that they are now officially dabbling in cryptocurrencies. Sadly, that's about all they've told us up to this point. What cryptocurrencies, how much Bitcoin, whatever it might be. But it's massive news, nevertheless, for the world's largest asset manager, which has $8.6 trillion worth of assets under management. Now, if only a tiny little 1%, just 1% of their assets ended up in Bitcoin, that would be $86 freaking billion. That's 50 times more than what Tesla invested. That's crazy. That's crazy. Even if they did just a tiny little 0.1% allocation, that would be $8.6 billion, which would be $7.1 billion more than Tesla invested. Again, crazy stuff here. These are serious money players entering the game who have near infinite reserves of cash at their disposal. This changes the entire dynamics of the market and will make the long-term Bitcoin price floor much, much higher than the current price of Bitcoin. So BlackRock confirms it's now buying Bitcoin in the same month that we see Morgan Stanley come out and say that they're going to buy Bitcoin. We see MasterCard come out and announce their support for cryptocurrencies. We see Tesla come out announcing a $1.5 billion purchase of Bitcoin. We see Deutsche Bank coming out saying it's going to start offering cryptocurrency services, including buying, custody, and tax service and staking to their customers. We see Bank of New York Mellon coming out offering crypto custody services to their customers. We see a couple small corporations like a German biotech company or cannabis company, a German cannabis company, and a U.S. stock company called Motley Fool. Like all these guys buying Bitcoin. The FOMO is happening. The FOMO is here. It's literally like right before our eyes, and it's only going to get crazier. This is just the beginning. And speaking of crazy, remember that story from MicroStrategy that they're going to be selling $600 million worth of C notes to raise money to buy some more Bitcoin? Yeah, they're not going to do that anymore, guys. They're not going to buy $600 million worth of Bitcoin. They're actually now going to raise $900 million and put that into Bitcoin. Savage. Savage, Michael Saylor. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Now, before I end this video, there's one project that I want to put on your radar. It's the next DAO maker launchpad called Send Finance. Now, this is a DeFi platform for cooperatives and credit unions, so it's leveraging the power of decentralized finance to be able to provide interest by optimizing and aggregating all these different DeFi lending protocols together. Now, the end goal here is to give really high currency yields and good token rewards to the financially underserved living in unstable economies all around the world. So that the use case is incredibly big, and it's a really cool idea as well. And oh, I need to mention this. It's backed by Binance. It's cool. Anything that Binance touches seems to go really, really crazy. And these little guys called Google. Google, yeah, that Google. You might have heard of them. Popular company, apparently. You don't see that very often. Send is one of DAO Maker's strongholder offerings. So the full details on how to get an allocation in this offering can be found on DAO Maker's Twitter page. I'll leave a link to that down below in the description. But I do want to point out here that there are extra chances to get an allocation if you're a holder of Aave or of Compound Finance tokens, so you can increase your chances of being able to get an allocation in the sale. But you do need to act fast because the deadline to register your interest for this sale ends in just a few hours. So again, check that out down below in the description. Now, your question for today: do you think that we will get another chance to buy Bitcoin under $50,000? Or are those days gone? Come on, I'm sure we'll get a few more chances to buy Bitcoin under $50,000. Hopefully. Let me know down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.